Greetings and welcome. My name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I am a bass player, songwriter, and very importantly for this episode, a baseball fan from the Gem City, Dayton, Ohio. I'm recording this on Thursday, March 30th, 2023. Today was opening day in Major League Baseball, and I have my good friend Mike Thome with me, who is a fan of the Twins, to talk about the upcoming season on the You Could Be My Airmas podcast. With no further delay, just like the games, let's get to the conversation. Happy opening day, Michael J. Thome.
Hey, happy opening day to you, Mr. Bankhead.
It's finally here.
It's here.
We have not yet had a game snowed out, but I'm sure that's coming.
Oh, it's coming. It was 25 degrees this morning?
It was chilly this morning. So, a few things to get to. First of all, your favorite team has already won today, and my favorite team has already won today, on the way to being 162-0.
It's still in play.
It's still in play. I wanted to start with what you might think about how the new rule changes are going to affect games this year. And we talked a little bit about this last year, but now it's real.
Now it's real.
So first, all four infielders must be touching dirt, and you can't have any more than two on one side of second base. That means that baseball teams can no longer position their infielders according to what the spray chart says. Who do you think this helps, and who do you think this hurts?
No one.
Helps no one?
Helps and hurts no one. I mean, you've seen what they're doing with the left fielders. It's basically bring the left fielder into the spot that was the second baseman. So our pull hitters, I mean, it's still the same thing. So I don't know if baseball thought, hey, let's stop pull hitters from getting those singles when they top the ball instead of getting under it. And we'll fix that. We'll get more balls in play. No, we're going to put the left fielder over there.
Well, there's only sometimes you can do that. Like if there's runners on base, I don't think you can do that just in case. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, unless you're just stupid or something.
Managers,
yes,
with all the bunting they've been doing over the years, not known for being smart. But take a guy like Freddie Freeman, who they used to always play the third baseman and short right. That dude pulls on the ground, but he sprays the ball all over the place in the air. So they can't do that to him. I think for a guy like Gallo or Schwarber, you might see that.
Yeah. I think the guys that just traditionally pulled the ball, it's going to be the same. I think guys that have better on base are still going to have the same. I mean, you're going to look at the spray chart and you're going to go, okay, Luis Arez, and no, he can hit it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm not shifting on those guys. So I'm not sure we'll see much change to batting average, honestly.
I don't think we'll know until the All-Star break. In the Mets broadcast, they mentioned that Escobar, who I think is right-handed, had been shifted on 77% of his at-bats last year. And they obviously couldn't do it today. That said, somebody, I can't remember who it was, but one of those big pull hitters hit a ball right up the middle, which would have been a hit like in 1994. And the shortstop, well, he was not allowed to be on the other side of second base. It was pretty darn close to second base and gobbled it up just like they've always been doing recently.
Yeah. So the players will always adjust.
Some of them, the good ones.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, think about what happened when they first instituted the shift. It was
like in the 50s against Ted Williams, or
well, I mean more recently.
Okay.
Yeah. But then the players are like, no, we're just hit it over your head for more home runs. And
right. Which is still look, it's the best way to score. You're guaranteed to score if you have the ball over the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
The bases are bigger.
I didn't think that was going to be a big deal at first. I'm like, what are we talking about? 6 inches?
How many guys have you seen thrown out where another 4 inches they'd have been safe when they're stealing?
Sure. So I think if spring training is what to expect, then we're going to see some guys moving around more. Now, I'm not a big steals fan unless you can You got to give me like 90% chance of getting there. Otherwise,
I think the break-even point from the book was in the 80s, but I don't remember the number. But 90 is really good. But yeah, there is a mathematical break-even point where if your guy's not safe X amount, you shouldn't run.
Right. So does it go from, hey, guys that were stealing 75% of the time now are at 83%? Now that changes my philosophy.
It does. And I don't think, again, we might not know until the All-Star break. The pace of play rules do tie to steals a little bit. And I'll give you an anecdote from the Braves game today, the Atlanta National League Baseball Club. I try not to say Braves because it offends some people. Ronnie.
Yeah, we might have to edit this.
I won't edit it. I'll just apologize to whoever was offended and just try to say Atlanta. Ronnie hit a single lead off, right? And the pace of play rules say that pitchers can only throw over or step off twice.
Exactly. No, I love that.
The pitcher threw over twice. What do you think Ronnie did on the next pitch?
Oh, stealing second.
Took second.
Yeah.
And it was not close. There. Way safe. Fast dudes are going to be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
The other speeding up the pace of play rules is the pitch clock between pitches, where the pitcher has X amount of time to deliver, or he is charged a ball, and the batter has to be in the box attentive to the pitcher in X amount of time, or he is charged a strike. I have been watching some highlights today, and Colin McHugh from Atlanta got charged a ball because he was too slow getting all of his warm-up pitches in when he came in. He was a reliever. Ooh. Hey, that's on you. You got to get it done, right?
Yeah.
I think Stroman became the first player to get it called on him. And he didn't allow any runs today, by the way. But he opened a count with the ball because he was too slow going to the plate on one. It'll be interesting to see how folks adjust and how umpires adjust. There was one where a base runner was lollygagging going back to first after a foul ball, obviously trying to get his hitter a ball because the pitcher's not going to throw it when the base runner's just wandering around between first and second, and the umpire stopped the clock and it's like, get back to first. So at least it looks like they're going to not let people fool around with it.
Yeah, we shall see.
But anecdotally, just it's only one day. Like in the Atlanta-Washington game, there were like 20. There were more than 20 hits. In fact, let me see if I can get the actual number. There were base runners all over the place today, just stranded left and right. And the game came in at barely over 3 hours, which is like there were 20 hits in the game, 5 errors, just lots of pitching changes, barely over 3 hours. This is probably a 4-hour game last year.
Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like it'll make the experience in the ballpark super more fun.
Yes.
Between innings is obviously they always have entertainment, but like between pitches, sometimes you're just like, but like pitchers got to get it and throw it. They can't mess around. And especially now that more pitchers and batters are using the technology to call pitches instead of using hand signs.
It's speeding it up too.
It's speeding up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, you saw some of the early games in spring training where players were getting called third strike because they weren't ready in the box.
That happened to Atlanta.
Yes.
With bases loaded in the ninth, and then the game ended in a tie because of that.
Yes. So the players will adjust. The batters, I think the pitchers are the ones, honestly, like you're saying today, I think they're the ones that are like, I'm not ready. Well, okay, ball. It's a ball. Sorry.
Some of them are truly slow. Some of them are not. Like dudes that work. I'm thinking about DeGrom, who's a fast worker. Yeah, he ain't gonna care. But there's some of these guys that are just glacial. And changing the pace has always been, at least the last 10, 15 years, a way to disrupt the hitter's timing, right? Yeah. Like you're in the stretch, runners on base. You hold it. Well, now you can only hold it so long.
Exactly.
Here's the question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my cousin Jim and his famous bat, the way he puts his bat out, lifts leg, both pants get adjusted, back out point. Would he be able to get himself ready? That's the question.
I think he'd be ready before Nomar.
Good point. And for our golf fans, Sergio Garcia is also would not be ready.
No. I feel as long as they're consistent, the players can't, like, they've been warned, they've been told, they did it in spring training. As long as the umpires don't let anybody slide, I don't think anybody has anything to complain about.
Yeah. So I did see a thing on ESPN First Take. I think it was, or maybe it was, pardon the interruption. Anyway, old guys were talking about baseball. And
like us.
The idea was, so if the game starts at 7 and now the game is 2.5 hours, now I got a better chance of getting home and getting into bed like an old man at 10 o'clock. So I think in the park experience, like you're saying, I think that will help. It's a long game. So if we can get some slightly younger people involved, like maybe a little younger than us, I don't know.
It would be nice to be able to talk to people half my age about baseball, but I don't know too many of them that love the game like I do.
No.
The other rule change, which didn't get a lot of pub, but I read about it on The Athletic, hat tip to The Athletic. They changed the replay rules. Did you hear about this?
I don't think I did.
So they don't do replay. Well, they don't do replay in spring training, so there was no way to test it, right? They have shortened the amount of time that a manager is allowed to hold up their hand to check the tape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've shortened the amount of time that they're going to take to go watch the replay. So it used to be, and I should probably look up the article, but I don't want to take the time. Let's just say it's a lot shorter. It used to be the umpire could take a while to decide whether to challenge. And I don't know if you remember watching games last year, the umpire would look in the dugout and the manager would see if they were going to challenge. Well, now the manager's got to decide faster. Do I challenge or not? And the reasoning behind that is they want to push the managers to only challenge in certain situations like high leverage. And so
especially if you're going to lose your timeout. I mean,
right. You're going to lose your challenge. As long as you keep getting them right, you can keep your challenging on replays, but you mess one up and you're done. So the article was saying, is it worth it to challenge a bang bang play in the bottom of the first?
Nope.
And some managers well, that run counts too. And I guess the answer is, it depends on whether somebody scores or what the game situation is.
Yeah.
But
unless you're sure,
it seems like they want less of those challenges where the guy beats the throw and then just slices off the bag and gets nailed because someone held the tag on. They want less of those and more of the umpire missed a call.
Yeah, it goes back to what my dad always said. Tie goes the runner. Let's move on.
It would be nice. My favorite team is not endowed with a great manager that was good at challenging stuff anyway. But look, base runners, they know if they're safe or out. So if your base runner gets up and he is demonstrably saying that I was not out, I think you got to make that challenge, right? Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out for the season. So let's talk about your Minnesota Twins.
Hey, they won today, like you mentioned. I did get to see the game. I checked on it. It was 2-0. I actually don't even know what the final was.
I think it was either 2-0 or 2-1. Let's have a look.
So, I mean, it's a good sign. That's how they're going to win games this year.
Close and low scoring, 2-0.
Yeah, I don't expect their offense really to be enough. Now, it's interesting. I was reading about Mr. Byron Buxton.
Great ball
who the
player.
Twins decided not to wrap in bubble wrap this year, but intend to play him more at DH.
He DH today, hit third. I guess if he's not running so much, he can't get hurt. I don't know.
I think that's the idea. So the projections, so he was on pace to hit 49 home runs had he played in all the games last year. So I do understand it. But man, that guy's amazing to watch in the field. So
do you let him steal bases, or are you afraid he'll hurt himself?
I mean, that's what he did last year. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's so dynamic. But then the question is, what I get out of him, is it enough? And I think there's a balance. There's got to be a balance there because he's flashy and amazing. But man, is that why he's not healthy? Because he's flashy? I don't know.
Yeah, some people's bodies just break. Your starting pitcher today was one Pablo Lopez. I believe he was a Marlin.
He was. I was glad to get him.
Who'd you give up for him?
That was the Luis. I can't ever pronounce his name correctly.
Arias.
And thank you, Mr. Spanish. That was that trade. Which,
okay.
I mean, marginal defensive guy with on base. I mean, he's just a contact hitter. You make that trade every time.
Yeah, young arm.
The fan base doesn't like it, but you got to make that trade because he was not. There was questions about where he was going to actually play. It's like, you know what? We'll just sign Joey Gallo and
Mr. Three True Outcomes.
Exactly.
Arias led off today and played second for the Fish.
And he probably got 2 hits.
2 for 4. Run scored RBI.
Yeah.
That's hilarious that you didn't know and you knew that.
I didn't know, yeah.
So your lineup today was Max Kepler leading off, 0 for 5. Correa at second, Buxton at DH. Larnack and left. Your 5-hitter was Jay Miranda.
Jose, yeah.
Your 6-hitter was Nick Gordon. It's D's little brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Farmer came in later for I'm going to assume that was a defensive move, or I don't know, maybe a platoon thing. Gallo, that's pretty deep the lineup for Gallo, but I get it. He strikes out a lot. And then Vasquez at catcher and Michael Taylor, still employed in Major League Baseball.
Still employed.
You know what? He can run down those fly balls. You don't have him for his bat.
No. So maybe between the two of them, it's good enough.
You have some good hitters in that lineup. It's just not deep.
Yeah. It's not deep, and that's why they try to get a bunch of pitchers. Now, I still think they had too many starting pitching, but I think they got burned so bad by that maybe you can't ever have too many starting pitchers.
I don't think you can. Look at the Dodgers; they just hoard them.
Yeah.
Because look, Fried got hurt today in like the 3rd inning. Starting pitchers are always breaking. He pulled like a hammy, but still he might be out a month. I don't know how long he's going to be out.
And they don't play like a true closer. It's like, hey, this is your 9th inning. You take it. It's
leverage stuff.
It's leverage. So
that's smart.
I love it. So the back of the bullpen, it'll be sneaky good. Hopefully some of the young guys can contribute. We'll see. I don't expect them to go out and win 100 games or anything like that.
They'll need to win 100 games to get to the playoffs, though.
No, 88. This is an 88 to 90 win team. Do they win the Central? Maybe.
Well, we'll get to that later.
I think they make it. I think that's where we're at. And they didn't trade away all their young guys, so they're still prospects. It's not. Yeah, the minor leagues aren't empty.
Here is who finished off your shutout today. I don't even know these guys' names. You're going to have to tell me. You're going to have to help me out. C. Thielbar.
Yeah. Yep.
He went an inning.
Caleb.
J. Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
G. Jax.
Oh, Griffin Jax.
And Jay Duran closed it out, and it was a save. It was a save opportunity, so he's the guy to get to save the day.
Well, it was 2-1. It was probably the middle of the lineup, and that's why he's in that spot.
Okay. Let's see when Jax came in the 8th. So he's your 8th inning guy, huh?
Generally, it's been Thielbar, but it's good. Jax was a converted starter.
Thielbar was the first guy off the bench. In fact, I think Lopez exited with men on base, and Thielbar went in there to put the fire out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so in the
that sounds about right.
In the 6th, Let's see. I feel like he came in the 6th. Unless I'm reading this box score wrong.
No, that's probably right. He has he's quote unquote the most experienced closer.
But the thing is, Yahoo's their box score system, that's what I'm on right now, is in their play-by-play system. They haven't worked out the kinks yet for the new season. Very disappointed in it.
Seems like MLB also debuted a new system this year, so we'll see. Got to keep it fresh for the young people.
Just make it work is all I'm asking you people. It was interesting that they've been putting the pitch clock up in the little score bug on the TV broadcast so that we know, what the umpire's looking at.
Very nice.
For my favorite team, the Atlanta National League Baseball Club, I'll keep this brief. I think they're the best club in the league. I think their only weakness is left field and DH, but the rest of the lineup is so strong it might not matter, though I would like them to go get a better hitter at both positions. The starting rotation is deep, and I think it's going to be the best bullpen in baseball. That's an 105-win team, even in that division. Yeah, I know. I'm not usually pessimistic, but...
Yeah, although we did say that they would repeat last year, so...
And... they got to the playoffs, which are a crapshoot, right? Small sample size.
No, so, I can't disagree with you. Can we talk about Mr. Two Pitch?
Yeah, I think he's going. He won't pitch tomorrow because I don't think they're playing. Do you like Mr. Two Pitch?
I do. I mean, I think for our other sports fans, like football, the San Francisco 49ers. People complained about, well, you know exactly what they're going to do. Well, they're really good at it.
Yeah.
So if you're really good at it, okay, here's my 2 pitches. Go ahead and try to hit it.
As long as his arm doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
Or he has location issues, he's going to be really good for a long time.
So does he exceed 100 and what did he pitch last year? 140 innings, was it?
Let's ask the internet. Well, first of all, no one's ever probably thrown 200 again. Right? I mean,
yeah.
It's just the game. Point. The game is different than it used to be. But, if you can still get 200 strikeouts and not throw that many, he went 131.2 last year.
Over under that this year.
Over. He struck out because remember, he didn't start in the rotation last year.
Right.
He struck out 202 dudes in those 131 innings. That's incredible. Stupid. It's stupid is what it is. So, predictions. I'll let you go first with the so this year, since last year I forgot to write them down, I'm actually going to write these down and we'll check in to see how we're doing later. Your AL East winner.
It has to be the Yankees, although, man, their pitching staff just got obliterated. But, yeah, it's Yankees.
Your AL Central winner.
It pains me to say it, but I believe that the Guardians will pull off the division.
Didn't they just do this last year?
They did.
They made a very hasty exit from the playoffs, though.
Yes. I just think they're a deeper team.
Yeah.
Than Minnesota.
The West.
Is it time for the Angels? Can we do it?
Can you do it with 2 of the 3 best players alive, but not much else is the question.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
So here's their lineup.
No, it's the Astros. Come on.
It's probably the Astros. But here's the Angels lineup tonight. Their game is at 10:07. Taylor Ward's leading off. Trout's hitting second. Starting pitcher Shohei Ohtani is hitting third. Just ridiculous to say that. Rendon is cleaning up. He still has stuff left in the tank, it would appear. Hunter Renfroe at 5. And here we get to the guys. I don't know who these people are. Luis Rengifo at second. Brandon Drury at first. He's kind of a journeyman.
Yeah.
Gio Urshela, failed Yankee at short at 8, and Logan O'Hoppe at 9. There's 5 good hitters in that lineup.
Yeah. It's too bad.
The Astros.
It's the Astros. It's their division to lose.
Yeah, and I think that game's on now. Their lineup tonight: Pena, Bregman, Alvarez, Abreu, Tucker, Diaz, Myers, Maldonado, Dubon. They've got 6 decent hitters. Who are your 3 wild cards?
So since they're not going to win the division, they need to be included. So the Angels are in. I'm just going to go. The Angels are in. The Rays are in, and the Twins are in.
All right, we agree on
a lot. Division.
We agree on way too much of this. I've got Toronto in the East, Cleveland in the Central, and Houston in the West. And for the wild cards, I've got the Yankees, your Minnesota Twins, and the Los Angeles Angels of Pasadena or wherever, Anaheim, Orange County, wherever they are.
Central California.
South Central California Angels.
Yeah.
All right, your National League predictions, the National League East.
So I agree with you. It's the Braves,
which will make it 6 in a row because they have run 5 in a row.
Yeah.
The Central.
LOL Mets. Sorry.
LOL Mets. Got to. Yeah, they deserve that the second they sent Brent Batty to AAA.
There's many other reasons, but I can't.
Also, Verlander's hurt already.
Yeah. And and the games that don't mean anything in the WBC where you celebrate and you hurt yourself.
Yeah, that could happen. That could have happened anytime though.
Yeah. Milwaukee Brewers for the Central.
Oh, all right. I want to have you defend that because I don't know that they're deep enough, but I want to hear what you think.
Well, I mean, you were high on them last year.
And I was wrong.
Yeah. And so I was like, Mike's a smart guy. And I've been, they've got great starting pitching.
They do. They really do.
And I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it's all going to come together, their offense. They're so due. And it's the easiest division. I mean,
it is. 3 of those teams are a complete dumpster fire.
Yeah. I mean, what? The Cardinals are going to.
I think the Cardinals are going to score a lot of runs. I don't think they have the arms that Milwaukee does, but I think they're going to score a lot of runs.
And I was high on them last year, and they snuck their way in, if I remember correctly.
I think they won the division.
Yeah.
Who you got in the West?
Wow. That one's been hard for me. But I do think the Dodgers are I think they're better than the Padres, and I think they pull it off. As much as I want to see the Padres.
And your wild cards.
So San Diego's in. And the LOL Mets. They're in. And I have a sneaky suspicion that there's going to be somebody that is going to be better, and I'm going to regret it. But I'll stick with the Cardinals.
Okay.
There's going to be somebody come out of nowhere. You're like, did the Phillies get in instead?
Or the Phillies almost won the thing last year. But they lost. I mean, obviously Harper's going to be out till probably June, and they just lost Hoskins for the year. I've got Atlanta in the East, St. Louis in the Central, and your San Diego Padres in the West. And my wild cards are Los Angeles, the Giants, and the Phillies. I think the Mets managed to not make the playoffs.
Oh, that would be awesome. So sell me on the Giants because I think the cupboard is bare.
Their ballpark suppresses run scoring, and I think they've built their team to deal with that. And I think they're going to run all over the place and try to manufacture runs at home. I think they're going to win a lot of games.
To win.
I think they're going to win a lot of games over the bad teams in the NL. There's a lot of bad teams in the NL. 3 in the Central, 1.5 in the East, and 2 in the West. They're going to win a lot of games over those teams, and if they can just even play 500 against the Dodgers and Padres, I think they get in. It's less that I believe in the Giants and more that I don't believe the Brewers have enough despite the pitching I think the Mets will just find a way to ruin it. Because
the Mets.
Which is a shame. I love that ballpark. I like them being miserable. That was great.
That's a lot of money.
So give me a sleeper team in each league that you think they're going to win more games than people think they're going to win.
They're going to win more games. So, I mean, the Orioles won more games than everyone thought last year, and I think they're only going to be just as good. So I don't think it's fair for me to say, oh, they're going to win more than, but they should be good. They should be good. I like it when the AL East.
That was my pick.
Is good. I like it when they're good. But if you made me pick somebody else, like Seattle, obviously.
No, Baltimore's a good pick. They got a good play. They got a couple good players out there in Seattle. Who's your NL team that you think will be better than people think?
I think Corbin Carroll's going to be amazing, and I think it helps Arizona. I think they're going to be better than we think. Now, does that mean they win 80 games? I don't know. I mean, maybe.
So you don't think it's going to hit 7th all year?
No.
I think the Marlins are going to surprise some people.
I like that.
I don't think they're going to be good, but I think they'll be better than awful. Sometimes sometimes you can't ask for much more. So the 10 o'clock games, I was just looking at the lineups. Because I think the Padres had the best offense in baseball, probably, despite how much I love what Atlanta's done offensively. 2 black holes in that lineup. And remember, the Padres right now, Tatis is not back till the end of the month or beginning of May. So this is their lineup today. Trent Grisham's hitting leadoff, and he was hitting 9th last year because for some reason he lost the ability to play baseball. But he had a really good season like 3 years ago. I think, maybe he gets that back. Juan Soto at 2nd, Machado 3rd, Bogarts 4th, Cronenworth batting 5th. Matt Carpenter, who is no longer quite the on-base machine that he used to be because he's old and doesn't have as much power, but he can still take a walk. 6th, Nola 7th, Hae-Sung Kim 8th, David Dahl 9th. That's a strong lineup. And when Tatis is back, I guess he plays center because they got Bogarts to play short.
Yeah.
Or
Cronenworth sits. I don't know.
Cronenworth's your first baseman. He's not going to sit. Okay. Carpenter's the DH, and he's too old to play the field. Maybe they put Trent Grisham in right instead of David Dahl. Maybe they put Tatis in right. When Tatis is back, that lineup's scary. It's a problem. He's going to lead off, right? So Tatis, Soto, Machado. Yeah. Yikes. Tatis, Soto, Machado, your starting pitcher. Those are your first 3 guys you get to see when the game starts. That doesn't sound like any kind of fun.
Nope. Get those guys 5 to 6 times a night. Whew.
Yeah, I think they're going to score more runs than anybody in the league. And so that's why I picked them over the Dodgers. Not that the Dodgers lineup is bad, but Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Martinez, Peralta, Vargas, Outman, Rojas. I just think the Padres, especially when Tatis is back, there's more firepower. Who's your favorite offense?
I guess I can't disagree with that.
You can. I mean, I'm not stopping you.
No, I can't wait to see those guys play together. I mean, who's not excited about that?
Dodgers fans, Giants fans.
Well, yeah. I don't know how else you could argue there.
They're going to score a lot of runs.
What would I like to see better than that? Huh. Just for the sense of argument, I got to come up with something. But I don't have one. That's the best lineup. You want to see those guys.
Yankees close. LeMahieu, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Donaldson, Gleyber, Torres. Here's where it drops off. Oswaldo Cabrera, Jose Trevino, Anthony Volpe, the rookie.
Yeah. Well.
That would be a good series. I don't want to see a Padres-Yankees World Series happen, but if it did, that'd be an entertaining series.
would mean your Atlanta baseball club would not be in.
That is exactly what that would mean. So who do you think wins the leagues in the World Series?
So I believe that the Atlanta baseball club will be there. As much as I would love to say my Twins will be there, they're not ready. So I do believe you'll have to get past the beloved Astros.
They did it 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is a thing that can be done.
It can be done. And that lineup's good too, though.
It is. I know it's cliche, but that's my pick: is Atlanta over Houston. Good over evil. Honesty over cheaters. Or, for all we know, they're probably all cheating, actually.
Yes, it's all who gets caught.
All right, individual predictions. Who's your AL MVP?
I should have wrote this down because I'm not sure. It's not who's won the last 2 years.
Is it not Byron Buxton?
Oh, he's not going to. That means he's going to stay healthy.
Oh, how many games do you think you get out of him? Be honest.
I would be happy at 120.
Okay.
120. Now maybe this DH thing works and he hits 50 home runs and steals 40 and almost becomes a 50-50 guy. I mean,
if he goes 50-40, that's your MVP right there, right? I mean,
yeah. So, but that's dream world. So I don't know. I guess Mike Trout. I think it's Trout's turn.
The thing is, Trout has not won it many years when he should have won it.
That's true.
I think it's Ohtani because he puts up almost as much WAR as Trout does when he's hitting, and then he also goes and pitches.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's ridiculous. Did you see the at bat in the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah. Incredible.
I only got to say the at bat because you know which one I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's Trout doesn't go down swinging all 3 times very often. In fact, somebody ran a stat that he's only gone down swinging at all 3 strikes like 30 times in his career.
What a moment.
Yeah, Ohtani's good. I would love to go see him in person someday. All right, Mike. AL Cy Young winner.
AL Cy Young winner. See, I'm too familiar with the National League pitchers. That's half my problem. I don't even know what is there an actual league that's called a mixed league fantasy?
There is, and those are for people that don't want to challenge.
Can Showtime win?
I don't see why he couldn't. If you think he puts up numbers better than all the other pitchers, he would. He would have to, right?
I mean, if I'm going to give Trout something, I got to give them both something, right?
See, Let's just do it. You got Shohei for Cy Young.
Yeah,
I've got DeGrom, even though he was not good today.
Okay,
but I think when healthy, he's the best pitcher in baseball.
You do love him.
I do. I don't know that Texas is the right spot for him, though.
I was surprised.
Paycheck's apparently good, so yeah.
Yeah.
Your AL Rookie of the Year.
I had trouble with that. I tried to look it up a little bit, and can I respectfully just not pick anyone?
No, you got to pick one.
All right, it's Volpe then. I mean, it's my
okay. I've got Gunnar Henderson. I picked an Oriole last year.
I saw a lot of people go that way.
He was second, I believe, but I'm going to go back to the Orioles. I'm going to go Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
They say he's got all 5 tools. I haven't seen him, so I don't know. But now to the league we actually know. Your NL MVP.
Mr. Spencer Strider.
Spencer Strider for MVP.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening very well.
Yeah, MVP.
My MVP is...
pitchers can win it, but it's
Manny.
very rare.
No, he's not going to win. Mr. Manny Machado.
Machado. All right. So I have a question for you. Machado plays on the same team as Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto, who
That's how
are
good he's going to be.
younger than him and arguably already better hitters. So,
yeah,
how do you think Machado's going to get that done? I want to hear. I'm not saying
it's just because he's on my fantasy team and he hits behind them. So
he's going to. I mean, we know RBIs aren't really the be-all and end-all of statistics, but he's going to get a lot of those.
No, it's just wishful thinking. How's that?
Wishful thinking. All right. Well,
that way, when you look at the end of the year and you write these down, you're like, God, Mike is terrible at predicting.
So I was thinking Soto.
Yeah, I like that.
That's not what I'm going to go with, though. Who won? Goldschmidt went last year, right? Or was it Machado? Or not Machado? Or Renato? One of those Cardinals, right?
I thought Goldie won it. He's not gonna be as good.
It was Goldschmidt. I've got Venezuelan Ronald Acuna Jr. as your MVP.
Okay.
I think 40-40 is genuinely in play for him. I think he's fully recovered from the knee thing. He's healthy. He's really fast.
That would be exciting for baseball.
He hits leadoff for a lineup that's going to score a lot. I don't like that Nathan has him on his fantasy team, but really, if Soto won it, I don't think I'd be surprised.
No, he's probably the favorite.
All right, I feel like I already know who your Cy Young winner is going to be. It's going to be the two-pitch wonder, Spencer Strider.
Yes,
that's who I've got. I didn't want to, but I think you can make a case.
There's a lot of good pitchers.
Zach Wheeler.
His parables are so good.
It's so good. Yeah, you can make a case for Wheeler or Scherzer, or Nola, Burns. Milwaukee. I think Strider is a lot more nasty than all those guys. Assuming health.
Yeah, which I think he'll be fine.
I'm going to predict that you think Corbin Carroll is going to win the NL Rookie of the Year award.
Yes, clearly.
And this is just because he's
my love for him is strong. Besides that,
even though he's batting seventh tonight,
he
might not bat seventh forever, though.
There's no way.
I got Jordan Walker. But tell me about Corbin Carroll.
It's going to be close. I mean, that white boy can run.
Yes, he can.
I mean, and he was also a number one overall pick, and he's had some experience in the league already. They signed him a long-term deal. I don't think you can mess with this guy. Now, Jordan Walker, those two guys.
He can run too, but he's a lot bigger than Corbin Carroll.
He's bigger, yeah. And you'll probably argue both of these guys probably have a long career and great numbers. And we'll talk about them in the future.
Assuming health, yeah. The NL has a lot of really talented young dudes. Mm-hmm. Tatis, Soto, Acuna, Walker, Carroll. Who's the dude for the Dodgers? Miguel Vargas is supposed to be a really good hitter. I keep reading that the Reds have a whole bunch of young talent, but I don't know how true that is.
We'll see. They're supposed to have two young pitchers, both throw 100 miles an hour. So,
O'Neal Cruz is a freak in nature.
Yeah.
Do you know that he hit the hardest ball last year, recorded by Statcast?
Yes.
It was a single.
Just on a rope.
Banged off the wall in right field and one hopped the right fielder, and he couldn't advance past first.
Yes. That's when you hit it way too hard.
How about some launch angle, O'Neal? That would have been in the river if he'd had any kind of launch angle on it.
Yeah.
I think that dude's going to be an exciting dude to watch. Yeah, baseball's back.
It's back.
Are you going to make it to any games this year? I know last year we had planned to go to a series and it totally didn't work out. Life got in the way. But do you think you're going to make it to any games this year?
I'm going to have to try. You got to make priorities for things. So that's tentatively.
Where do you think you're going to go?
I know for sure I'll go see the Cincinnati Reds. For sure. And get my $2 tickets,
I didn't know they had $2 tickets.
Well, I mean, they're going to be that bad that
that's true.
Sure I can.
They are going to be. Look, I went and saw the Tigers and Royals at the end of the year last year, and they were two of the most entertaining baseball games back to back I'd ever seen. One went to extras, the other one was won in the bottom of the ninth. And the teams were full of dudes. We even played the game. Who are these guys? A team was full of dudes I'd never heard of, and we had a blast. It was great. So
yeah, family reunion back in Iowa this year.
Nice. Go see the Cubs, maybe, or the Cardinals. Which one?
Well, we could see the Cubs, but I think I'm going to try to drive up to Minneapolis.
Nice.
We'll see.
Beautiful Target Field.
Yes.
So I'd like to get to see Kauffman Stadium this year. I've never been to Kansas City.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not only it got remodeled a few years ago. I mean, it's still the same old Kauffman Stadium we saw on TV in the 80s, but it got like a facelift.
Yeah.
It's not that far. I mean, in driving, it's not terrible. There's no way that those tickets are going to be super expensive because that club's not good at the moment. They were, and then they've fallen into some bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City has more fountains than any city in the world, they say. Like they call it the Fountain City. It's like their thing. And you're going
to go count them.
If we have time, I will totally try to count some. They have famous barbecue.
Arthur Bryant's. Got to go.
I've never been. And I heard their specialty is burnt ends, and that sounds wonderful. And they have the Negro League Museum, and that's the place I want to make a pilgrimage to. So I think Misty and I are going to try to get to Kansas City at some point this year.
So I have to tell you about Arthur Bryant's.
Tell me.
So every president basically has been in there, and their pictures on the wall. But it's good barbecue when white people will go into inner city and stand outside around the building at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now, I've never been afraid, but there's plenty of white people who will be very afraid, but they're that happy to go get barbecue.
How many times have you been there?
Just once.
This clearly made an impression on you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'll dig out some pictures.
Would you say it's the best barbecue you've ever had?
Oh, no.
I need to know what that is.
It's the best barbecue I've had at a restaurant.
Oh.
The best barbecue I ever had was at a family's house that was from a small Southeast Asian country. And I think it was the sauce that made it. It was like peppers they grew in their own backyard and charcoal grilled steak that had been marinated. Oh, man. Fantastic.
So, there are some places in this country where they take barbecue very seriously and they don't believe in sauce.
That's true.
And the best barbecue I've ever had was at one of those places, Franklin's in Austin, Texas, which they keep winning awards for nation's best brisket. And the line there, like they don't open till like 11 and people start camping out at 8 on the street. And they're only open for lunch. And once they're out of meat, they're out of meat. Like they're done.
They're out of meat.
So what my wife and I did is we went to a music conference down there and I ordered in advance. To order in advance, by the way, you got to order like several weeks in advance. I ordered like 6 weeks in advance because I had to go to this conference and I couldn't stand in line. And Misty went and picked it up, and we had barbecue, and we ended up sharing it because in order to order in advance, you got to get like way more meat than 2 people can eat.
Yep.
It was just fall apart. It was stupid how good the brisket was. And I don't know how they do it.
Texas brisket is a whole other ballgame.
They are serious about that. I wouldn't get pork in Texas. If you're going to get barbecue in Texas, you get brisket. Just like, I guess, if you want to get burnt ends, you go to Kansas City. If you want ribs, you go to Memphis or St. Louis, right? Every place has their specialty, but I'm excited to try me some Kansas City barbecue.
Now, there's another place that I have to find out. There's at least 2 super solid places that I know of.
All right, you're going to have to drop me an email, and I'll put it on we're going to go eat smoked meats when we go to Kansas City for sure.
I love it.
Any other thoughts on the season before I let you go and get some sleep tonight?
Any other thoughts on the season? I just want to second your 40-40. We're going to see a 40-40 player this year. I don't know who, but we're going to see one. Maybe we'll get 2.
Just one?
It's happening. It's time.
How cool would it be if it was Buxton and Acuna?
Oh man! Wow, that would be a season.
Let's hope for good health.
Next thing you're going to say, it's going to be them in the World Series too.
Oh, I don't know if I could stomach the Atlanta playing the Twins again. I still have scars from 1991. I'm still bitter.
It's all right. You're allowed.
I've not forgiven.
If I was on your side.
I've not forgiven Kent Herbeck for his dirty play. Well, maybe someday. It's weird, Atlanta's gotten 2 since then, so I really should be over it. But no, totally not.
It's okay. It's all right. We have none since then.
Yeah, you don't have any since then. Really haven't gotten too close, have you?
No. Mm-mm. Some teams named Oakland Athletics and generally got in the way.
Also, the Yankees are in people's way a lot too. Yeah, I hate them too.
Yeah.
All right,
I believe they're 0-17 versus the Yankees in the postseason.
That's brutal.
2000 or something.
That's brutal. Let's do this again at the quarter pole, and hopefully both of our teams will be atop their respective divisions, like they are today, actually.
Like they are today, 162.
It would be fantastic. I'll talk to you again in a couple months.
Sounds good, buddy.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks again to Mike Thome, who is tastefully named, for joining me. I just love talking about baseball, and I hope you can tell that he does too. Mike will be with me at the quarter pole, the halfway point of the season, the 3/4 pole, and maybe again at the end to talk about the season. If you like baseball, those are the episodes you want to look out for. Thank you, dear listeners, for being here with me on the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. Next week, you're getting 3 episodes. Yeah, I'm showering you with goodness. Come on back. Thanks.